Well, England faced all the problems on the first morning of this third Test match in Melbourne. They were 2 down in the series with 4 matches still to go, and their batting was in complete disarray from the efforts of the Australian pace bowlers, Jeff Thomson and Dennis Lillee. But on the other side, I suppose Ian Chappell couldn't really have cared less whether or not he won the toss this morning, and indeed whether or not he fielded or batted. Well, as it happened, he won the toss, and once again he put England in the second match in succession. The 4th time he's done that in Test matches, and he's just 1 short now of the 5-timer record established by Gary Sobers of the West Indies. The Australian selectors left out Terry Jenner, and England omitted Jeff Arnold from the original 12 nominated to play in this match. And the game began on a surface that contained quite a bit of moisture. Not quite as much as in some Test matches I've seen here in recent summers, though. The match began with Dennis Lillee bowling from the members' end. The batsman was Dennis Amos, and he's just recovered from injury sustained in the Brisbane Test.
And that's the first run of the Test. They're going to take at least 1 here, possibly 2. Wally Edwards is the fieldsman, and they come back for a second run. So Amos 2, Lloyd has not scored, England none for 2.
The wicket does have a little bit of more moisture in it than a normal Melbourne wicket. There's a very even cover of grass, which is tinged with green.
And is he caught? Yes, great catch, Walters. That Walters at third slip. Walters bowled the lead for 4. Thomson bowling to Lloyd. And in the air, it's going to be safe over the top of the slip fieldsman. Walters and Redpath both after it, and it's going to be Redpath who'll get there. They come back for the second.
Well, it's a thick edge, and it'll be 4 runs off the bat, I think. We'll wait for the umpire. Yes, 4 runs. Well played. Thomson to Lloyd. A good ball, won't be out, coming up too high. Lloyd will have rather bitter memories of the Perth game from being hit by Thomson about 6 inches away from where that one hit him.
Thompson's boot again, troublesome, his boot lace.
Yes, he had quite a deal of trouble in Perth, as I remember, but there's that field. What an aggressive, attacking offside field. They ring cordon on the offside, so it's now Thomson to Lloyd. Nasty one, he could be out here, and he is. He's caught by Mallett in the gully, the easiest of catches from a rising ball from Thomson, and Lloyd is out. Here's the replay again. You'll see short and Lloyd not able to get up high enough to get the bat to it, and just going up in the air in a slow loop. Will we see Mallett actually catch it? Yes, the simplest of catches. You'll see Dennis Lillee in a very silly position there. Over the top for 4. Lillee perhaps in no danger there, but he's certainly very close to Edrich. If Edrich hits the ball hard at him, Lillee could know all about it. Caught it. I think he was looking at the umpire with a great deal of hope but no anticipation, because it was very clear that Edrich didn't hit that one onto his pad.
A huge crowd here, something like 70,000 to watch the first day of this game. Magnificent scene here from this largest sporting arena in Australia, and of course it can't be full. It holds 130,000, but comfortably full for a cricket ground. And here's Walker bowling to Cowdrey. Cowdrey gets run straight away. It's going down towards the boundary. A long chase for Walters. I don't think he'll get it. The ball's slowing down, but into the fence it goes. No ball called. It's gone right down towards the boundary. That could be 4. Way over the head of Marsh. Let's see what happens here. Yes, 4 byes it would be. That was a sizzling bouncer. That went so high. Marsh had no hope at all. Dropped. I think he was dropped. And well hit by Edwards. That's going out towards the boundary. That should be 4.
Thompson to Cowdrey. Oh, and a fast ball, a confident appeal, and he's out. Out, LBW. Cowdrey out for 35. Here's the replay.
Cowdrey playing across it slightly, right the way back. The ball pitching in line, and Cowdrey hit plumb in front.
Magnificent piece of wicket keeping by Lars. He's given out by the umpire at the bowler's end. He's given out caught behind Frank Tyson.
Yes, it must have been caught behind on the leg side. And Edrich moves inside the line. Very difficult to see whether there's any contact at all, because the body was completely masking the ball up to the very last moment. But he's not out stumped, that's quite obvious. But the short leg position there in Greg Chappell was up in the air, obviously, because he felt that he'd seen something.
We have 3 slips, 2 gullies, a deep point and a cover. Only 2 onside fieldsmen. And over the top of slips, down for 4. That's the typical Greg shot. He played that so often in Brisbane. And that's over the top of the slips again. Down it goes towards the boundary, and 4 more to Greg. And good shot again from Greg. That's coming down towards the boundary. A remarkable shot. It might get to the fence for 4. It's slowing down. Dennis Lilly's onto it. Let's see. And it's 4 more. An appeal from caught behind. He's out. That's caught Marsh. Rolled Mallet for 8. Greg is not out 21. It's 5 for 141.
Dennis goes back and attempts that cut again against the spin, catches the top edge, and Rod Marsh coming up with the ball.
And that's going down towards the boundary again. I think that's 4 all the way, between the gap of the second slip and the gully. And over the head of the slip fieldsman, Brett Path, and down towards the boundary it comes. I think Ian Chappell will get this one. They've taken 2. Let's see if Greg goes for 3. He's on the way. There's danger here. And is he out? He's out. Run out. Greg doesn't believe it. He's been run out. Greg setting off that 3rd run. A wonderful throw back by Ian Chappell, and Greg has run out for 28. Mott is not out 7. 6 for 157.
Here's the disc. We see Ian Chappell pick up the ball. It's a strong throw back. Greg struggling. The ball in Marsh's gloves now. The bails are taken off. Oh, it's a whisker in that one.
Lilly again. Out, off the bat handle. Off the bat handle.
After a full day's play in the first day of the 3rd Test match in Melbourne, England had slouched their way to 7 for 176, and they weren't in very good shape. They had Alan Knott there, very calm in a crisis as always, but they only had Derek Underwood and Bob Willis and Mike Hendrick to stay with him.
Good stroke. High to the fence, square of the wicket. The ball will be going to the slips. You see them, 3 waiting and 2 more gullies, 2 leg slips and a wicket keeper. What a cordon that is behind the wicket.
Yes, Underwood really did back away there. He needed radar to make contact with that delivery.
There it is, more runs over the top edge, certainly, but safely enough above Redpath. 2 more to Underwood. It's another good stroke past Edwards, racing towards the boundary. I think Edwards will pick it up just in front of the fence. He does so. Meanwhile, Knott has run 3 There's a very good return from Ross Edwards to Wally Edwards. Oh, and a very nasty ball. One wonders about bowling these sort of deliveries to bowlers, because Underwood is a bowler. This is the 14th over with the second new ball. So far only one wicket has fallen to it. Oh, great stroke. Through the gully for 4. Thompson again to Knott. Nasty bouncer. However, he's playing well for his side. He's 38. This time it's a well-played stroke. Down onto the ground, through the gully, past point for 4 runs. Well played. Walker bowls to Underwood. Forward and out, I would think. Yes, out, caught behind. Underwood out, caught Marsh, bowled Walker for 9, and England have lost their 8th wicket for 213. It's the drive, it's down the middle of the bat, there's no one in mid-off. That's a long chase to the fence. For Ross Edwards, he can't reach it. Well played by Willis. A good drive for 4. He's 7. England 8 for 225.
Here's Thompson once more, back into the attack, bowler to Knott.
Knott immediately picks up at least 1 run. He will... No, he's not coming back for the second. And that's Knott's 50. England 8 for 228, and Knott getting a very well-deserved round of applause. A fine innings for England. Thompson now to Willis. There'll be 4 runs. A forward leg glance, mainly off the edge. Thompson to Willis. Bang up in the air. This is a possible catch, but a very difficult one. Walters, and what a good catch it was. What a good catch. Willis out, caught Walters, bowled Thompson for 13, England 9 for 232.
And that's going out towards the boundary at the square leg. There's no fieldsman within about 50 or 60 metres of that, and that should be 4. Yes, going off a very thick inside edge, but it's 4 runs and they all count. So Hendrick on to 8. Knott is 51. England 9 for 241. And bowled him. Thompson finishes with 4 wickets. England all out, 242.
A wonderful crowd here at the MCG, and 54,000 people today watched Bob Willis bowl the first over of the Australian innings to Ian Redpath.
And runs here straight away down towards the boundary, going right across his outfield very quickly. I don't think this will be 4. They've taken 2. That's Greg Fielding down there, and they're coming back for 3. And the first runs to Australia.
There's a good stroke. Through mid-off, that'll be 4. No way on earth that'll be stopped. There's a good stroke. A lovely drive. 4 runs. Beautiful stroke by Redpath. There's a lofted stroke and a good one. Into the long on fence for 4. Lofted again, over mid-off this time. To the long off boundary for another good stroke.
And hit over the head of Lloyd. It's going down towards the boundary. It's flying right down. It mightn't quite reach it. Underwood could get to it. He's got a long way to come around the boundary. They've taken 2, and they'll go back for 3.
We now see the umpires asking the batsmen whether they want to continue. I would think they would want to continue. It would be in Australia's interest, but no, they're not. They're coming off the ground.
England faced plenty of problems on this third day of the Melbourne Test match. Their own first innings total of only 242, not very good that. And Australia 63 without loss overnight, although Australia had the added handicap of having Ian Chappell with a dislocated finger batting at number 6. The England bowling attack was reduced by the loss of Mike Hendrick, a sad loss this. Hendrick with a strained leg muscle and unable to bowl today, and indeed unlikely to take any further part in the match. They were reduced then to a 4-man bowling attack. And Bob Willis, the best and most successful of these bowlers in the first and second Test matches, bowls now the first over of the day to Wally Edwards. Willis is bowling now from the members' end.
And that's going in there. He could be caught. Yes, he's out. Caught Dines. Not a good shot at all by Edwards. So Wally Edwards has caught Dines. Bowled Willis for 29. Redpath not out 35. Australia 1 for 65. Here's Willis. First ball to Greg Chappell. And Greg Chappell off the mark straight away. That's down to the backward square leg. And that's a chance. Caught. Yes, he's out. Caught by Greg. Off the hand, I'd say, but we'll see that in replay. Greg Chappell caught Greg, bowled Willis for 2. Red
Here it comes.
Out 35. Here's the replay.
I think it just caught the shoulder of the bat. It was a good delivery. The variation in bounce, this one really took off. From about halfway down the wicket, Greg Chappell is right over behind it, but it caught the shoulder of the bat and dollied very easily into the slips, and Tony Greig was able to move across and take the catch. So now
the spin of Titmus from the far end. He'll be bowling to Ross Edwards. England has 2 spinners in the game, Titmus and Underwood, who are specialists, and the best time to spinners to operate's in the last innings. To think back, remember that Ian Chappell sent England into bat. Edrich.
Notice Fred Titmus bowled that one from quite wide out, angling the ball in at the stumps. It's got marvellous variation in width of the crease and in arm height.
And he's caught, yes, caught by Cowdrey. Faster one from Titmus. Edwards caught Cowdrey, bowled Titmus for 1. Australia collapsing to 3 for 68. And that's it, down through mid-on. Beautiful shot, that one. It's coming out towards the boundary. It might slow down. It's just rolling slowly in towards the fence. Underwood should get it. They've taken 2. They might run 4. No, 3 only. I think they expected the ball to hit the fence, and they possibly might have run 4, but that's the situation. 3 for 76. Walters on to 6. And he's hit that hard and high over the mid-wicket area and way to the fence for 4. Just a fraction short, and Walters moving right inside it.
Fred Titmus to bowl this time to Doug Walters. Walters on 15. Lovely stroke. It may just, yes, into the fence. Another great stroke through mid-wicket. It's a long chase for Dines. The batsmen have run 2. And as the return comes back to Titmus, you saw Walters complete his 3rd run. He's 22. Australia now needing 1 run for the 100. A more sedate stroke, but an effective stroke by Redpath. 1 run, good fielding by Dines. Redpath 45, and Australia's first 100 comes up. 3 for 100. Good drive, and there's the 50. A lovely straight drive by Redpath. The ball picked up by Amos, and Redpath gets 3 more runs. He moves on to 52. A good innings for Australia. Fairly slow one, but a valuable one. And Australia now 3 for 113. Greig again to Walters. And hooking a ball off his stumps down through mid-wicket. A long chase for Lloyd. He won't beat it to the fence. And Doug Walters starting to give the crowd the cricket that they've wanted for 3 days. The 50 partnership up in 76 minutes. And he's out. Greg to Redpath. He does attempt to cut and he's out. And is he out? Playing forward, asking umpire Baelish, not having anything to do with it. And the very disappointed England side. Let's watch this again.
The main question to be answered is whether Chappell edged the ball onto his pad for it to bounce from there into the hands of Greg. And of course, with Allen not standing there, there's very little we can see.
Amos. We're looking for signs to see if Ian Chappell is in any way restricted in his batting. So far he hasn't played any attacking shots. The injury was to his right hand from my memory, right forefinger.
Yes, I had word that he had in fact dislocated the index finger of the right hand, so it would be extremely painful.
And runs to Ian Chappell. That's a nice shot going down towards the boundary. It probably won't be 4, but they could get 3 here. They're turning to the third now. That's Amos fielding. And Amos's throw is a good one. Notice Amos, a right-hand bat, left-arm throw. 3 more to Ian Chappell, he's 5. Rod Marsh yet to score. Australia 5 for 129. And they're the first runs since the lunch break.
With 2 days remaining, it's going to be very difficult for Australia to force a win, but perhaps England may be able to.
Willis to Ian Chappell. And he's hit that one, is out there towards Old, and Old getting underneath it, is he? Just dropped it. Great attempt. Great attempt. 4 runs, but a mighty effort by Old.
This is his 8th over today, so he's going to have a rest before he can take the second new ball.
And that time it's going out towards the boundary, no mistake about that. That was hit well in front of square leg, an indication of a good shot along the ground all the way. And cracked beautifully by Ian Chappell. It's going out towards the boundary. If the ball carries, it will be 4, but it mightn't quite get there. Titmus is taken onto it. They could run 4 here if they want to. Let's see what happens. They're turning, and they're going for 4. They'll run them all the way and run them easily. Just walking through for the 4th run. Round arm and hit right down to fine leg, as fine as could possibly be, and that's going to be 4. Unusual ball, unusual shot, 4 runs. And just wide of the fieldsman, it could be 4. It's going out towards the boundary. Old's racing for it in from cover. I think we'll get to it. They've taken 2. I don't think they'll try for 4 this time. Old has a fine arm. So 3 more. There it goes, out towards the boundary. And that's a good-looking shot. That's bouncing hard into the fence. He really hit that well. That's as good as a shot he's played. Ian Chappell, 31. Marsh, 8, 5 for 163. And Ian Chappell, the number of 4s, I think he's hit about 5 of them, hasn't he? 5 4s in 31. And that's a typical Marsh shot. Down the ground it goes. 4 runs. What a good shot. Well, Willis had no more than 3 or 4 metres to move and went sailing past him like a rocket. And that's the first authentic Marsh drive that we've seen in this innings. And he hit that really well. Marsh is 12, Ian Chappell 31, 5 for 168. Now, the new ball can have the effect of speeding up the scoring rate slightly at times with the Ball coming off a bit faster. With Hendrick off the field, there's only one other bowler that can share the new ball with Willis in terms of pace, and that's Greg. Though, as I suggested before, there's no reason why Underwood, for example, couldn't take a new ball.
No, quite, but I can see Tony Greig warming up there, so he will presumably take the new ball.
And they're taking a run here. There's an appeal. He's out. He's out. Ian Chappell is out, leg before. Drinks are being taken. Marsh is not out, 12. Australia 6 for 173.
Oh, a nasty bouncer, and it's become a feature as we have this series, as we've said on other occasions, that the fast bowlers union no longer applies. Marsh quite aware that he's got a load to carry to make the Australian score respectable as Willis bowls to him. Driving and well through mid-on. Coming down towards long on, a long chase for Underwood. It won't reach the fence. I think you know that 3 runs will have been scored. Good drive. Long chase for Underwood again. And again there will be 3 runs scored unless I'm mistaken. As here comes Walker back for the 3rd. There is the hook, and it's I was going to say possible catch. It's not. It went to about the only safe spot that it could have gone on the onside. There was a man in front of square leg. There was another man at wide mid-on. Greg to Marsh. Bang. Through wide mid-on to the long-on fence. Much to the delight of the large crowd. Marsh 22, 6 for 191. Once again, the weather is looking a little bit ominous. Black clouds in the west as Greg bowls to Walker. Will drive in the air, but through the covers, uppishly, past the nest. 200 is up, Walker gets 2. Walker moves on to 12, and Australia 6 for 201. And it's been a fairly hard row for Australia.
Underwood to bowl to Marsh. And Marsh has a go at that one. It's going out towards the boundary. And Greg may just get to it. He does. They've taken 1, coming back for 2. Well, that's the first time Marsh has really tried to get under one and hit it hard and high out on the onside. He gets 2 for the shot. This time it's going backward of square. It could be 4. I don't think Greg will get to it. And straight down the ground. Great shot. That's right down, almost into the fence on the first bounce. Right over the bowler's head. Had a go at that one, and he's connected, and it's going out towards the boundary, and it's going to be 4.
Funny old sweep stroke, not making contact. Marsh was trying to hit that ball very fine. The one man there are 2 men in fact behind the umpire on the square on the leg side. I'll talk a bit more about that in a moment. This one's in the air. This could be out. This one here's out. Well, I won't talk about it anymore. That was out, caught by Knott in the bowling of Titmus, and Marsh is out for 44, and that's a most valuable wicket and a most opportune time for England. 7 for 237. Willis again to Walker. Walker on 30. And he's out this time. I think he's walked. And that was very good because umpire Brooks made no move to give him out, perhaps because Walker had made the decision for him. But Walker knew that he was out, and he walked off the ground immediately. He's out. caught by Knott in the bowling of Willis for 30, and 2 wickets have fallen on 237. Titmuss, a very confident appeal by Titmuss, very confident. He's upset about it. He thought that one was plumb. There's no pleasure on his face at all. He wonders why not. He's showing it a bit too much too, I think. Umpire Baelish is there to adjudicate, and he's decided it was not out. Titmuss bowling to Mallett. He might be run out if he doesn't hurry. Yeah, I think he might be. He is out. He is out, run out. 1 ball later. Is the run out on here? No, Lily's back. Thompson forgot about running then. Lily was halfway down the pitch. There was a run in it had they both gone, but Thompson was more concerned about protecting himself and thinking, well, if he's going to bowl bounces at me, just wait till I bowl shortly. And bowled, and England take the lead. Willis finishes up with the excellent figures of 5 for 61. A great bowling performance by him. Lilly bowled Willis for 2. Thompson not out 2. 4 extras. Australia all out for 241.
The fourth day began with England 1 for no wicket, and much speculation about Mike Dennis's possible tactics. Would he opt for all-out defence and the chance of a draw, or would it be good, sensible attack and the opportunity of a victory? Well, it didn't take us long to find out, and we join play now with Jeff Thomson, the Australian opening bowler, bowling the first over of the day from the southern end, and the batsman is Dennis Amiss.
And runs, that's a good shot from Amiss. Down to the boundary it goes. That'll be 4 all the way. And there are a few more. That's 4 again. Wide ball, and he really slammed that through the gully area, the cut. Another one for him. Four slips at the moment. How long they'll be there, I don't know. They've taken some catches between them, haven't they, in this series? And was that a chance? Now, something had moved away. Now, I don't think so. Nobody reacted to it. Ian Chappell, who injured his hand, that right forefinger of his. In fact, it was a dislocation. And wide of got the third slip Walters. It's down to the fence for 4.
They refused to play shots in the first innings, and it was just a matter of how long they'd last. Certainly not a matter of how many runs they'd score. But Dennis Amiss took full opportunity to score runs when the field was in close. Many gaps, and he found them quite often. He has found them this morning.
Oh, good shot again. That's a beautiful shot. What a good shot. Oh, well played. Good shot. He forced that. A good ball on the stumps for 2 through the cover area, and he won't get 3 because the return from Ross Edwards comes back. But in its own way, that was almost as good a shot as the last one. And Lloyd slashing that past point. It's going out to the boundary. No chance for anybody at all. And that's going to be Lloyd's first 4 this morning. Now it's Thompson. Once again, he'll be bowling to Amiss. And a good shot again. That's pushed wide of mid-wicket. He just placed it where he wanted to. He's coming back for 2. I don't think there will be 3 unless they're going. Yes, they're running for 3. And they're looking for those runs. Well run. And that's good running.
That's beautiful running between the wickets.
That's cracked hard down towards the boundary. That's going to be 4. No chance for the fieldsman.
Thompson to Amiss. And there's a good shot through point. Amiss coming back for the second. Well run. The return coming back from Wally Edwards. Amos 50. And what a great innings that's been. England none for 72. The 50 coming up in just over the hour, 69 minutes. And it's Walker bowling to him. A full toss and beautifully played through square leg to the square leg fence for 4. The chase has been given up. Straight. It's a long chase for Ross Edwards. He will not beat the ball to the fence or to the side screen. The side screen being hit means that 4 runs are scored. Gives Amos the chance to drive beautifully through the covers. A long chase for Ross Edwards. There'll be 3. What a lovely cover drive and a good return by Edwards. Well, it's the 100 now. Past Thompson at mid-on and being picked up by Walters. Going down to long on. Lloyd gets 2. He is 36 and England none for 101 and a magnificent 100 partnership as it has been. Walker to Amos. Amos on 64. Lovely stroke. Through the covers. The long chase for Ross Edwards. He will pick it up. In the meanwhile, another 3 runs to Amos. Very easy 3, but not enough time for 4. This one has got past fine leg. It's Lilly. It won't be stopped. Mallett again to Lloyd. Yes, he's out. Caught and bowled. It looked as though Lloyd had played a bump ball to Mallett, but no, straight back to Mallett.
Lilly to Amos. And no, dropping short of the fieldsman. Big chance, brilliantly caught. Magnificent catch by Greg Chappell. Left-hander, great catch. Cadbury caught Greg Chappell, bowled Lilly for 8. Lilly has 1 for 31, 2 for 134.
Lilly about to deliver the ball. The ball took off and it caught the shoulder of the blade. There was no chance of getting out of the road of it, and Greg Chappell came across in front of his brother and plucked a brilliant left-handed catch.
And there's the drive again. That's beautifully timed through the cover field and chase out there towards the boundary. The ball might just win here. It's going to be very close. Thompson just gets it. They've taken 2, coming back for 3. Going for a run. Yes, Deness is 1. Amos 88. 3 for 153.
Deness is suggesting to Amos that it is necessary for England to not lose wickets at this stage. It's vital that they get a lot more runs today. They do have Greg and not particularly to come. Greg can get runs quickly, but at the moment England need to consolidate, and it's Thompson bowling to Deness. Oh, and it's a good one, and he's out. That was a good ball, leaving Deness, going away off the track, finding the outside edge of Deness's bat, and he's out for 2. 90 out of 158. In the air and out. Caught by Ian Chappell at wide mid-on for 90. England 5 for 158. And Mallett has taken his second wicket, 2 for 29, a well-deserved wicket and a great innings. Unfortunately, I think, in the minds of most people, curtailed with him on 90. Amos 90, England 5 for 158, and England now, from being in a very good position of none for 115, have fallen away to this not so good score of 5 for 158. Thompson to not. Oh, and he's out. And a very good catch. Caught Marsh, bowled Thompson for 4. The ball going straight to first slip, but Marsh intercepting in front of Chappell at first slip. Thompson is now bowling to Titmus with 2 slips, 2 gullies. There they are, that gap, a rather unusual gap at third slip. That's not all that often we see 2 gullies, but there they are. And then the other men on the offside are a point and a wide mid-off. Thompson to Titmus. And that's hurt. That's hurt. Letting the ball go. And, well, you saw what happened. Pads are coming off straight away, so it's pretty clear that he's been badly hurt. Only 2 men on the offside in front of the stumps. There's Walters, who's just in front of point, and then the only other man is Ross Edwards at a wide mid-off position, so there's plenty of scope for the drive. But Lilly not normally throwing them up far enough for it. That's short, and he's just about to catch to Walters, but just to his left, sufficiently so for the ball to go down to Mallett, who was fielding at third man, having to run around square of the wicket.
Mallett bowling to Titmus, the first over after tea. And that's bowled him. Come clean through, and Titmus has been bowled by Mallett without scoring. Greg is not out 16, and his remarkable match continues. 7 for 178. And Underwood's shot is going out towards the boundary. He'll get 4. It's a very pleasant day in Melbourne. It's not a hot day. Temperature in the low 20s, the very low 20s. Blue sky, not exactly surfing weather, but a few clouds coming over from the northerly side of this ground, but at the moment it looks fine. And he's caught. Yes, he's out. Ian Chappell takes the catch. Underwood caught Ian Chappell, bowled Mallett for 4. Greg is not out 16. England 8 for 182, and Mallett has 4 for 40. Mallett to Greg. And he's hit that out high over mid-off, way into the crowd, perhaps for 6, is it? 6, a great shot over extra cover.
We haven't seen Tony Greig, although he's not on strike, haven't seen him employ that slash outside the off stump as yet.
And that's over the head of slips. Willis does a Tony Greig for you, right down to the boundary for 4.
Greg on 31. There's a great hit over long on, and it will not be 6, but it's second bounce into the fence. He's hit it in the air again. It could be out. On the other hand, it was just far enough to beat Jeff Thompson. And that very good hit, although a dangerous hit, produced 1 run only. That one's well hit in the middle of the bat over square leg for 4. Still with the old ball. Bowling to Greg. And there's a good stroke behind square leg. Very long chase for Walker. It has gone into the fence. I thought for one moment that Walker may have played it with his foot or kept it out. He hasn't. A very good stroke by Greg. He's got 53 now, and England 8 for 231. One of Greg's best innings for England. And hasn't he hit that well? This one for 4. Through mid-on. Tremendous stroke, that. At a most vital time. He's been caught magnificently. A magnificent catch by Greg Chappell in the gully. There was only the 1 slip in the gully. Here's the replay. Watch this now. A good cut. Just a slight top edge and a magnificent catch. 9 for 238. And Thompson to bowl to Willis. And he's done that one pretty well through the covers for 4. one just on a length at the stumps would be a useful delivery right now.
Like that.
It's one of those occasions, Frank, when one can nominate it. So there we are. England all out for 244. Australia needing 246 runs to win this match.
Australia 246 to win, 5 hours and 15 overs to play, and England needing 10 wickets for victory. That was the situation at the start of play on the final day of this enthralling test match at the Melbourne Cricket Ground. 40,000 people turned up to watch what promised to be a wonderfully exciting day's cricket.
Greg bowling the first over to Edwards. A confident appeal for LBW, and he is out. Out LBW for no score, and England have struck Australia 1 for 4, and I'm sure a very disappointed Wally Edwards. Well, he's out. LBW. 2 Australian wickets fallen this morning for the addition of 1 run, and that was a leg by Ian Chappell, LBW to Willis for no score. Here it is again. Watch this very carefully, and that, I would say, Frank, was middle and leg stump.
Yes, and he was so far back, wasn't he? I mean, look how far back he's gone in his stumps, right the way back to within about a foot of his middle and leg stump.
But here's Underwood bowling for the first time, Greg Chappell batting. And a beautiful shot from Chappell, magnificent hit. Well, that was a question of absolute batting perfection, the way he hit that. He placed it perfectly, the timing was there, and the fieldsman, who had no more than 3 or 4 metres to move, couldn't get to it. And he's hit that hard and high. It's going up towards the boundary. It's a chase out there. Ball, I think, will win. And over the top for 4. That's the most adventurous stroke played today. And placed very well by Greg Chappell. Out towards the boundary it goes. It won't be 4. They've taken 2, and I think they're going for the 3rd. Here it goes to the bowler's end. Greg Chappell is 37, Redpath 20, Australia 2 for 66.
Australia before lunch had 24 overs sent down to them and scored 68 runs. And this works out at 2.8 per over. Thus, Australia have got to quicken up their scoring rate.
And Willis is to bowl to Greg Chappell. And immediately runs through point to chase for Underwood. The drive off a thick outside edge, but a fairly good stroke. England's tactics at the moment is to stop the Australian scoring, hoping that they will try to force the pace and make a mistake. But there's a good stroke by Greg Chappell through mid-wicket, a chase for Lloyd. The batsman has slowed down as Lloyd's return comes back, and a good one to Knott. 2 runs to Chappell. He's 45, and Australia 2 for 85. That's the partnership now has added 80 runs for the 3rd wicket. Oh, and that's in the air, and he's dropped. And Frank Tyson yelling in anguish there, and I don't blame him. Dropped at mid-on by the England captain, Donness. And there was another edge. There was no second slip, so it was not a chance. 4 runs, and Greg Chappell has brought up his 50. 51 to Greg Chappell. Australia 2 for 91. There's a great stroke. 4 into the fence on the full.
England down to 4 bowlers.
And have now shut the gate, but the horse has bolted. We see Greg at second slip. I think a better offside field now as Willis bowls to Greg Chappell. Driving straight. Long chase for Donness. In the meanwhile, Greg Chappell comes back for the 3rd. And Greg Chappell playing ominously well. He's 61. As we see, there's one of those gaps. The 100 partnership, Redpath gets 2 more. He goes up to 35. Australia 2 for 106. The second wicket fell when the score was 5, and a good round of applause for what has been a mighty, useful partnership for Australia. And it's back with Titmus bowling to Greg Chappell on 61. And how is that one? He's out. There's the vital breakthrough. LBW to Titmus for 61.
Edwards driving it through the covers. Good shot. That could be 4. Chase out there for Old. He won't get to it. No, he won't.
Well, we can see those 6 fieldsmen now. There's a mid-on, a short mid-wicket, a short leg, a mid-wicket, a very deep mid-wicket, and a deep backward square leg.
And Redpath will get a run here. Underwood, let's see if Redpath goes for 2. There's danger that returns on the way. This could be close. Is he out? Yes, he's out. Run out. The second run wasn't there. It wasn't a great return and not had to move a little bit. But Redpath has been run out for... Here's the replay. Let's watch the replay first.
Underwood has the ball as Redpath turns for the second run. It wasn't a particularly good throw. Knott takes it in front of the stumps. Redpath, oh, well out of his ground.
Now here's Titmus to bowl from the far end to Ross Edwards. And he's caught, is he? Yes, a great catch by Lloyd. Magnificent diving catch away to his left-hand side. Ross Edwards caught Lloyd, bowled Titmus 10. Walters not out 1. Australia in trouble, 5 for 121.
Last session of this highly exciting third test match. Titmus is bowling to Walters, who sweeps him beautifully behind square leg for 4. Walters moves on to 16, and Australia 5 for 150, needing 246 runs to win.
Australia were 5 for 121, and now we've seen this partnership between Walters and Marsh add a further 39 runs to put Australia right back in the game. Titmus again.
And there's a lovely stroke through the covers. A long chase for Old. Not to make it, and a very delighted Australian crowd applauding that lovely stroke by Walters. He's 29. England badly needing a wicket. Lifted his head, but the ball went straight along the ground. Long chase for Underwood. 3 more to Marsh. He's 16, and it's 5 for 172. In the air, and he's out. Donness catching the ball in the covers. Walters waiting for the umpire's decision because he did have some doubt whether Donness had got there. There was no doubt in anyone's opinion looking on, though. And Walters is out, and the 6th wicket has fallen for 171. Greg now bowling to Marsh. Sweeping again, and again successfully, more successfully this time. This one will go to the fence.
The new ball generally means either wickets or runs.
And a run here. 200 up for Australia, 6 for 200. He's hit that hard and high, handsomely down the ground, and that's 4 runs. Greg to Marsh. And he's out, is he? Appeal for caught behind. Yes, he's out. Marsh has been caught by Knott, bowled Greg for 40. Walker is not out 8. Australia 7 for 208. And a good shot from Willie. Going out towards the boundary. It could be 4. It will be 4. Greg to Walker, last ball of the over. And runs here again. It's going to be out towards the boundary. Beautiful shot. They'll get 3, because they could possibly run 4 if they're fast enough. They'll run 3 for sure. Well, that's taken the over tally up to 7. 3 for 48, Greg's figures, but it's 7 for 225. 21 to get. 4 overs to bowl. And Walker seems the least concerned of anybody on this ground. And that's a good-looking shot. It's through. Going up towards the boundary. He could get 3 here. They've taken 1. Coming back for 2. It won't be 4. They're turning for 3 as Dennis Fields. And 3 more. Walker's playing a great hand out there. He's got the strike. He's 18. Willie 11. 7 for 230. 16 to win. 5 off the over. Willis 14 overs, 2 maidens, 1 for 56. A run. Yes, they're going. And through. Walker 19, 7 for 231, 15 more. And as a test player, Paul Sheehan, of just a year or 2 ago, what would we be like right now in the Australian dressing room?
Frantic, I would think, except for Doug Walters, who will be playing cards.
Greg bowling now to Lilly. And a run again. They're going. Well played. Just playing it to the deep field and taking it in singles. That was the tactic used by Johnson and Ring so long ago. Over 20 years ago on this ground, I said, we'll get them in signals. And there it is. 14 to get. 7 for 232. And 232, by the way, was the score in the tied test in Brisbane, wasn't it? Greg to Walker, last ball of over number 13. And no run as players converge on the ball from everywhere. So now 2 overs left in the game. Well stopped by Underwood. There was a run there. Well played. Well, this could be a maiden over. 1 ball to go. And that's a maiden over. Well bowled by Underwood. And the run, they've got 1, possibly 2 if they go fast. Let's see what they do. They've taken 1, they're coming back for the second. And they've made 2. $11 to go, 4 balls left. Right in the air, he could be caught. I think he's out. Yes, Dennis has taken the catch.